Today I'll take up the poem A River by A.K. Ramanujan. The poem begins with the speaker stating that every year every poet sings the same songs about the flooding sometimes empty riverbed. When it is empty, all its hidden items are exposed. The poets have always sung about this period and the other in which the flood happens, but they don't get into the details of the impact of the flood on people. So, A.K. Ramanujan here says he's making fun of those poets who are just interested in writing something sensational. They are not concerned with the sufferings of the common people, where how the flood influences the people and the havoc or the destruction it causes. This is in the first stanza. He begins with saying that the poets have always sung about the river which sometimes was flooded and sometimes it has no water in it, but then they did not go into the details of how it impacted how the flood impacted the people. In the next stanzas, the speaker relays the words of the citizens of this area as they describe what happened this year. Houses were washed away, as were two cows and a woman who thought she was pregnant with twins. The speaker, makes fun of, or rather derides, the old and new poets for not caring enough to look deeper into their environments and the influences. Ramanujan also uses a variety of poetic techniques such as alliteration, assonance, consonance to unify the text. Alliteration occurs when words are used in succession or at least appear close together and begin with the same letter. Assonance and consonance are the forms of repetition in which a vowel or consonant sound is used multiple times in words that close in proximity. A few of these are noted with the body of the text. All of these techniques contribute to the speaker's tone. It fluctuates back and forth between disappointed, analytical, and even light-hearted at times. So, first I'll take up the first stanza. He was there for a day when they had the floods. People, everything talked of the inches rising, of the precise number of cobbled steps run over by the waste being rising on the bathing places. In the first stanza, this is the first stanza. In Madurai, city of temples and poets who sang of cities and temples, every summer a river dries to a trickle in the sand, bearing the sand drips, straw and women's hair, clogging the water gates at the rusty bars. Under the bridges with patches of repair all over them, the wet stones glistening like sleepy crocodiles, the dry ones, shaven water buffaloes lounging in the sun, the poets only sang of the floods. In the first stanza of this poem, the speaker begins by setting the scene. He is going to be describing how the city of Madurai is described by poets. It is a place that is made up of temples and poets, and these poets have always sung of the same things. Every summer in the city, the river basin is emptied. The river dries to a trickle, means it dries completely, and the sand is exposed when the water dries. The shapes and objects that are revealed are dark and somewhat ominous. You know, the there are sand drips and straw and women's hair. These things clog up the water gates made up of rusty bars. So as you know, straw and hair, they clog the water gates. Ramanujan makes use of consonants in these lines with the repetition of the G sound. Rhythm is also created through the reuse of the word sand in lines 6 and 7. Then, in general, the repetition of words beginning of S or words that carry the S sound. This is especially true for the first half of the stanza. Everything about the drainage system is old and in need of repair when he talks about clogging the water gates. The bridge is also in patches, a fact that is revealed when the waters recede. So this is the situation in India, that the condition of the bridge is exposed when the water recedes. In the last lines of this stanza, Ramanujan uses two metaphors to compare the stones to animals. The wet stones appear like crocodiles sleeping, and the dry as lounging water buffaloes. Despite all of this, the poets only sang of the floods, means they just were interested in talking something sensational. How this flood affected the people, they are least concerned about. He's talking of the new poets. There is so much more to the city that the poets are ignoring. Now I'll take up stanza 2. He was there for a day when they had the floods. People everywhere talked of the inches rising, of the precise number of cobbled steps run over by the water rising on the bathing places, and the way it carried off three village houses, one pregnant woman, and a couple of cows named Gopi and Brinda. As usual, the new poets still quoted the old poets, but no one spoke in verse. The second stanza, of a river is only 11 lines. The he in the first line is a reference to a poet, perhaps the speaker himself. He states that he was only in the city for a day. It is in this stanza that a number of the more complicated and personal details are revealed. The details were not hidden, they were easily learned by the poet featured in this stanza. Everywhere the people spoke about the flood and the terrible things which resulted. It is not just a simple natural occurrence, it carried off three village houses as well as a pregnant woman and a couple of cows. The cows have names, making these lines lighter in tone than some of the others. The list like way in which this section of the poem is conveyed makes it clear that these are not uncommon occurrences. These are very common occurrences when flood comes. It carries away the animals as well as human beings. The people are used to them. So today we'll do these two stanzas, and in the next lecture I will take stanza 3 and 4. Thank you.